Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Well, if you follow the channel, you know that I love getting outside. This is right now my paradise, back in here, no one else around, nothing but the wind through the leaves, no screaming and yelling that go on TV stations and on social media. This is just the place to be, but constant improvement of what we do out here. You always see these gadgets, more gadgets hits the market that you're like, oh, that's pretty cool, but you can only buy so much. And I normally like to buy only when I can get it for free. And I mean for free, I win an Amazon card. I get into these contests that promote local charities, and they'll give away an Amazon card. $50, $100. Well, I scored $350 over the winter. And in a roundabout way, really, I paid for the stuff, but I won the card, so it's one of those deals. Anyways, I got 4 products I want to go over. One I've been using now for about a year, and I didn't get it through Amazon. The other 3 I did, and one I'm going to unbox today. One I've used already a few times, or 2 of them I've used a few times. So the one I'm going to unbox today, I'm hoping it's going to work, because you know how the bugs are here in the Adirondacks. Follow along. So I'm surrounded by products, and in the last video I showed you products I bought for my truck camping, the new cot and everything, but these are for all sorts of camping, whether I take my camper, take the truck, if I decide to go hammock camping, which I haven't done in a while. But these products, I have found a need for them, and since I had the Amazon card, I said, what the hell, I'll get them. So product number 1 that I've used a few times already, and I've got the strapping that can go on my rack up above, but I got this axe with the cover, and I carry a little hatchet with me, but the hatchet sometimes doesn't do it. Now this wasn't that expensive. It's got a wooden handle on it, it's got a nice blade on it. But this is what I'm impressed with the most. This is a good cover for the price of this outfit. Okay, this whole thing was $38, and that included the cover. And being out here, you always got to split wood. And this is an axe; it's not a splitting maul, but gotta split wood out here sometimes. You got to break stuff up. And I've always carried my splitting maul around with me, and it's a pain in the butt to carry it around. So this time, since I had the Amazon card, I decided to get it. $38. It's a decent axe. It can be mounted onto my rack up out of the way. I haven't mounted it because I got to read up on the leather whether I have to treat it or not to be up constantly outside. But $38, nice little axe right there. It'll come in handy. It'll definitely come in handy. This next product I've used a couple times. Now, when you come out here, luckily on this site that I'm on today, I have an outhouse over here. And housekeeping hasn't been there in a little bit, obviously. But this next product, when you're out here in the woods, it is always leave no trace. And even when you poop, leave no trace. So on the side of my truck, I do carry a shovel on the side of my truck. I've been carrying that now for the last year, and because on sites that don't have an outhouse, and some sites have what they call a thunder box, which is just a box with a hole in it, and you wave to people as they walk by. I'm kidding. They're usually over in the woods a little bit. But anyways, there's sites that do not have anything. And so you have two options when it comes to that. One, you can poop in a bag and carry it out with you, or you can bury it. So there's rules on each one. One, the number one rule of all is leave no trace. So there are videos all over YouTube of how to poop in the woods, and I'm not going to tell you how to poop in the woods, but when you're given a decision whether you want to poop in a bag and keep it around your site until you leave and take it out with you, or do you want to dig a hole, poop in the hole, burn the toilet paper, cover up the hole, make it look like it never happened. That's the rule. That's leave no trace. Even though you're pooping in the hole, once you're done, kind of cover up the area so it looks like there's nothing there. But when you start to get a little older, the age starts creeping in on you, and going over to, you dig a hole, and you want to squat over that hole to poop into it, and when you get a little older, things start happening. You lose your balance a lot easier, you fall back, which you don't want to do, get a sudden Charlie horse, which makes you stand up and things get messy. So what I ended up buying, I had an old 5-gallon pail at the house, and I found this little doohickey, which is pretty cool. So you can put a bag in here and poop in the bag and take it out. Drop the toilet paper in, take it out with you. But here's my issue with that. What I don't want to do is, let's say I got here, and an hour after I get here, I got to poop, and I poop in the bag. I have that with me until I leave the site. So if I'm going to be here for 3 days, guess what? It's not the best situation. So I cut the bottom out of the hole. I cut the bottom out of the bucket, and bought this cover that snaps onto a 5-gallon pail bucket. So now I can actually sit down, don't have to worry about squatting and losing my balance, don't have to worry about any Charlie horses, do my business, pick the bucket up, cover up the hole, make it look like nothing ever happened. Take the toilet paper back and you burn it. You burn the toilet paper, because how many times, if you're an outdoorsman, if you watch my channel, most likely you get outside and do stuff. And how many times have you gone into the woods at a campsite, and I always find them. I'll look around the site, and all of a sudden there it is. There's the paper road. There's blotches of toilet paper all over the woods, because toilet paper takes a while to disintegrate. When it sits in water, like in a septic system, it still takes a while to disintegrate. And when it's sitting on the ground, you know, so burn your toilet paper. Bring it back to your fire, dump it in, and burn it. That is the best way to handle the toilet paper. Now, my personal preference is to dig a hole, put this over the top, sit on it, do your business, cover the hole back up, come back to the site, throw the toilet paper into the fire, and it's over and done with. So that is my $13 camp toilet. Pretty neat little outfit. And I can tell you, it does work pretty well. I've used it already several times. So before I get into the big box, the next product I want to show, and this one here I've been using it for a year, and I freaking absolutely love it. And that is my rack. So when I started camping out of the back of the truck last year, one thing I found immediately was, with the kayak sticking out of the back of the truck, there was so much road grime and dirt and dust that got into the back of the truck, and I had to clean the truck every time I set up camp, and it was dirt over everything, all over my camping supplies. It was not fun. And so I started doing a little bit of research on what I could do, because let's put the kayak up on the road, get it out of the back of the truck. And Yeah. So I found a company, get this, in Corona, California, US Rack. And I gave them a call, and they told them what I wanted to do. I wanted to put a rack on my cap. I gave them the make and model of my cap. You can get the numbers right off it. And yeah, they said they have one. They sent me everything. Everything. It was awesome. Now I had to, because it takes a couple of people to put on, because you have to drill, you know, you want to measure 5-6 times, drill once. And so I had the help of a local garage that I've done business with quite a bit. And I took the truck up to them one afternoon and we put the rack on. And they did most of the work because they've done it before. And it's been awesome, you know. And my shovel is mounted to it. I can mount the axe to the other side, or I can mount the axe lower down here. But it is perfect for putting the kayak up there. It really is. And so I'm very, very pleased with this rack. I really am. One of the things is, if I decide to go out more than a couple days, and I've always had this itching to travel across the country to national park, national forest, national park, you know, across the country and back. And I'm in Adirondacks, so that is going out the northern side, you know, through the Dakotas and the Montana. You know, you got Glacier National Park out that way. You got into the Washington and the Olympic Peninsula. And one of my bucket list items, I want to paddle Crater Lake. Don't know why. Don't know why. I've always wanted to paddle Crater Lake. But with this rack, I can have my kayak on one side, and I can get a storage box for the other side, and be able to put items into it. So the rack was, I think the rack was $400, and I paid for that. That was no Amazon thing, but I am so glad I got it. US Rack is the name. They're out of Corona, California. If you have a cap that you want to put a rack on, they have options. This isn't the only rack they make. They have many other ones. They were awesome. They talked to me when I talked to them on the phone. They actually contacted me later on and asked me how everything went, how the install go. They were freaking awesome about it. So US Rack out of California. I'm not getting anything for plugging these products either. They never gave me a discount on this. They never did anything. They don't even know I'm making a video on it. But when I have a product that has held up, worked well, does what it's supposed to do, I'll give it a plug. I'll give it a plug, because there's other people in the same predicament that I was in, that they wanted to get a rack on their cap for some reason or another. So that brings me down to my last item. What's in the box, you say? So when I'm out here like this, it's funny being here in the Adirondacks. It really is funny, because I can be at a site, and this is no joke. A couple years ago, I was up at Horseshoe, one of my favorite spots, and my site was so infested with biting bugs, mosquitoes at night. It was, you could hear them. If you just sat quiet, you could hear the trees hum, and they were relentless on me that night. I went down the road, not more than a quarter mile to where the launch site is. Not a goddamn skeeter around, nothing around. And that's how the Adirondacks are. You know, you just move a quarter mile and all of a sudden there's no bugs. You know, and I don't know why that is. In the box, I decided that, you know what? I had a couple $100 on that Amazon card left, and I was looking at screen houses. Now, when I usually come out with my truck camper, I bring my big Bill's tent. It's an awesome tent, but there's no screens on it, and it's great when it rains. So over the winter, I started looking at screen tents. Easy to carry, transport, light enough, and easy enough to put up with one person. And this is what I decided to get. It's a Gazelle Gazebo tent. And we're going to unbox it and set it up. I've actually had this since February. It's been sitting in my garage in the box. I kept telling myself I'm not going to open this thing until I get onto my site. I broke one of my own rules on this. I usually say when you buy camping gear, test it out before you go out. That way you know how to use it, you know that it's going to work. Box in the box. Gazelle 5-sided portable gazebo. This is what it's supposed to look like right there. Let me see if I can get the camera down in there. That's what it's supposed to look like when I get it set up. Set up under 45 seconds. We'll see about that. They got it packed in quite well. So here we go. Where shall I set this thing up? Okay, well, the Gazelle Gazebo is all up. I got it staked in right down here on each side of the door because it will pinch together at the bottom. It is unzipped, but it seems to be for $189. The stitching all seems to be there's reinforced in these corners. So every corner, even down below here, is reinforced. And it was pretty easy putting up. Took me, it says 45 seconds on the box to set it up, but yeah, there was no 45 seconds on the first time. But I do see that there's Velcro on these things here, so this, you might be able to get add-ons to this, I don't know. But this is the Gazebo, Gazelle Gazebo. Inside, oh, looks to be pretty good. Looks to be, I added the light. Looks to be pretty good. I sat in here for a little bit and kept the bugs out anyways. Did a pretty good job. So those are the 4 products that are fairly new. The rack I've been using for the last year. I've been waiting to do a video on it because I wanted to see how well it's going to hold up. If you need a rack on a cap or even on your truck, US Rack out of Corona, California, they have a website. I get nothing for promoting it. The gazebo tent, so far so good. My little axe, I'm going to get my use out of it. And then the portable pooper. Since my site already has an outhouse, I just realized I could use the little portable pooper as a side table to put my twisted tea on. Alright folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.